Thank you, Aswik, for reminding me. Yeah, guys, anybody up with the answer? No, Prerit, not correct yet, I'm afraid. Sudeep, if I could add just one more digit in your answer, that might be right. Either we have missed typing one digit or you are wrong. I don't know which one. All right, guys, which method do you want to look at? The tougher one or the easier one?
The second wala.
And the second is what? The easier one?
Yes.
Okay, all right, sure. Okay, so the second method, like I said, is quite interesting one, and yes, there's not much in it. So yeah, let's do it. This is the uh, total circular track we have, and now they both start from here and here. Now, what had I discussed yesterday in relative motion? What is the first thing that you should do?
Their speeds get added up or something.
Yeah. No, but not exactly.
But here they're in opposite directions. So
Your inference is correct. Your inference is correct, but you are telling the wrong thing.
Keep 1% at still and other person moving.
Yeah. Keep 1% still, other person moving. One more important thing. You are right. There's one more important thing. Keep 1% still.
And exchange their velocities.
No, not exchange the velocities. Okay. Let me tell you in simpler terms. There are two people. Okay. He is running with 3. He is running with 6. Now, what you do is go and sit on this person. Now, with respect to this person, you will be stationary, right? You won't move. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But the second person will now be look moving much more faster to you, right?
Yes, since I'm stationary.
Yes, because
I
you
didn't
look.
get you, Kesari.
Yeah, I will explain it again. No worries. See, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with the concept. I mean, that concept is not required here actually, but just to give you a small introduction, it will make your understanding easier. You guys remember the Newton's laws of motion? There was a concept called as frame of reference.
yes.
Yes.
What would you do? There were two concepts, inertial frame and a non-inertial frame. Inertial frame is some frame where your frame is steady. The frame is not moving. And we had the second frame, non-inertial frame. In that, your frame itself was moving. Like, say, example, you are sitting in a vehicle or you are in a bus. What happens then? The trees that are on the road, what happens to them? The trees appear to be moving, but are the trees actually moving?
No, we are moving.
Exactly, we are moving, but with respect to bus, we are stationary. So what happens is, it looks that the trees are moving with the same speed as the bus, but in the opposite direction. So indirectly, what are we doing? We are giving the velocity of the bus to the tree in opposite direction.
Yes.
Same thing is to be done here. If I sit on one of the persons running with the speed 3, if I sit on it, will I provide 3 speed to the another person in opposite direction, opposite of what the person on whom you are sitting? Like this is A, this is B. If I'm sitting on A, will I provide the speed opposite of A to B?
Yes.
Yeah. So which will reduce the speed of B, is it?
If both are in
Or-
same direction, it will add.
Yeah, but we are.
See, A was running 3 here, B
Yeah.
was running 6 here. This
Yeah.
is correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now what did I say? If I sit on A, will I provide the speed of A to speed of B in opposite direction of A?
Yes.
So this will become this.
True. Yeah. Got it.
Now are these arrows pointing in the same direction or different direction?
Now they're same.
So will they get added or subtracted?
Get subtracted.
They will get added.
See, okay, they become 9.
Yes, they will
Okay.
become
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. 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 Got it.
This part is clear?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Everybody?
Kesari, or else can we consider this way, since the other object is in the opposite direction and in relative velocity, the opposite direction ka value get summed up, right?
Yes, yes. See,
So
the
that,
concept which you are telling is perfectly correct, Aswik. It has basically originated from this concept. Like I'm explaining that same concept what you are explaining in a layman's language. That's it.
right,
In
right,
terms
okay.
of physics and vectors, you are perfectly correct. You are nowhere wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody clear with this, guys? If you
Yes.
still have a doubt, I will make it explain it to you in an even simpler way. Trust me, I know this is not from your syllabus, a bit extra part, but if it can help you remember this part, understand this part, it will make your lives totally easier.
So can we consider that irrespective of the directions, like say, let it be a circular motion or a straight line thing, like other problems that we saw yesterday, we can blindly consider that when we take up relative motion, the speed gets added up inherently.
Okay, all right. One thing. I'll discuss one more concept now. Suppose A is moving in this direction, B is also moving in this direction. B ka speed is 6, A ka speed is 3. Now, if I go and sit on A, what will be my relative velocity with B?
3.
Spandana,
Yeah, 3.
how?
We get, I mean, it gets subtracted.
Understand the process. Don't go for the answer. What I said, the same velocity, what you do is reverse the arrow sign. Now this arrows are in opposite direction, right?
Yes.
So opposites will get subtracted and same will get added. This is the rule. So the new velocity of B will be 3
3. Yeah.
because 6 right side, 3 left side. It remains 3 on right side.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this part is clear, guys.
Yes.
Everybody, any doubt, please ask me now, right now. If you have any doubt, trust me, I'll explain it once again. Guys, I require a response from everybody, please. Manideep, did you understand?
Yes, Kesari.
Okay. Sudeep, did you understand? Who else hasn't responded yet? Manideep has done, Prerit has done. Okay. All right. Great. Now, coming back to this question. The Zoom interface sometimes plays its shenanigans. The chat box always keeps dropping at the middle of the screen somehow. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So now in this question, if I sit on A or B on anybody, I mean Peter or Paul, the other person will start running with the speed of 9, right? Is this part clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now just like look at the question. What according to the question is, now let's say let Peter be A and Paul be B. So A and B. Now A will be steady because we are sitting on A, and B will run with 9 in the opposite direction. Now after the first round, they will come here. Once it is done, their speeds exchanged. So B will be stationary here, and A will start running in the opposite direction with 9 and finish the round. So in this way, everybody will finish one round and again reach at this point. Is this part clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So after 4 rounds, Peter will again reach here itself.
Yes, guys.
Okay. Now 1/4 round, it means it will take 1/4 in this direction or in this direction, depending on wherever it runs. That is not required for us, so I'm not going into that part. Either he will reach here or he will reach here.
Yes.
So what is the distance between Peter and Paul? Because one is already stationary here and one is here. So what is the difference between the distance?
150.
150. Got it? See, you have the answer. So if you understand the concept of relative motion, it takes 10 seconds to solve this question. Everybody got it clear? Any doubt? Speak up right now. I will explain it once again.
So in this case, we are not bothered about the speed at all.
No.
Speed could,
Coincidentally, it doesn't matter. In some
Okay.
questions, it might matter. In these questions, it is not required at all.
okay.
I took the same approach, like the relative motion thing, but I don't know why I started with this process. I just directly did like try to find out the time at which they both meet.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. See, like I said, for every question, there are many approaches. I am here to provide you the best approach. Everybody, guys, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not getting responses on even on chat box. Okay, all right, sure, great. We'll solve this clock wala question at the end. Before this, let's solve this race wala question. Something interesting. Everybody likes a race. This is plain and simple, guys. There's nothing new. So if L beats M by 40 seconds, that means L finishes the race. Then after 40 seconds, M finishes the race. This is the meaning of L beats M by 40 seconds. And if instead of seconds, it has been distance, that means if this is the finishing line, if L has reached here, then M is 125 meters behind him. That means L has beaten M by 125 meters. This is the basic nomenclature of such questions. So yeah, just wanted to get that part clear. Take 3 minutes and begin. Guys, this question will involve equations. You cannot run from equations in this question. A hint. No, Sohail. Check your calculations. No, Sudeep. Wrong answer. One more minute, guys. All right, guys. Time's up. I know this is kind of a moderate question, not an easy, but not a tough one too. So yeah, it does sometimes confuse a lot of candidates in that regard. Yes, Sohail, your answer right now, whatever you answered is right. What did you do, Sohail?
I just seen that L if it L is 40 seconds ahead than M,
Yes.
and M is 40 seconds ahead than N.
Yes.
So if I see that L has 125 L has won over N by 125 meters.
Yes.
So if we add the 40 seconds and 40 seconds, then it will be 80 seconds, right? 80 seconds is 125 meters.
Yes.
It takes by N, it takes. So I multiplied it into 4 and I separated it by 40 seconds.
Sorry, I did not hear you. The last sentence you said.
It was 80 seconds per 125 meters in 80 seconds by N.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
100 meters I took, I multiplied it by 4.
Okay.
And for M took 40 seconds less, so I separated it by 40.
Okay. Sure. Great approach, Sohail. That's the shortest method. Yes, perfect. Great. Guys, did you understand what Sohail said? I'll explain it again, but yeah. See, in the race of 500 meters, L beats M by 40 seconds, right? And we also see M beats N by 40 seconds. That means L, M, N, the difference is 40 seconds and 40 seconds. This part is clear, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody who has not understood this? Okay, all right. Next, in the question, it is given N and L beats N by 125 meter. That means this time gap is fulfilled by this distance. That means N takes 80 seconds to cover this 125 meter. Is this part clear, guys? Is this part clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, guys.
perfect. Yeah. So the speed of N would be 125 by 80. This will be the speed of n. So if I have to measure the time taken by n, what I will do is I'll use the distance divided by the speed. This is will I get it, guys? Sorry, this is 20. Yeah. So I'll get 320 seconds for n.
Yes.
Now m beats
Hmm.
n by 40 seconds, right?
Hmm.
That means it is 40 seconds ahead of n.
I
That
had
means it takes 40 seconds less than n.
Yes.
So we have to subtract 40 from here.
Hmm.
So we'll get answer 280. We can solve this by equations also, guys. It is the same thing. There it will involve, if the distance is same, it is speed into time. So if the ratio of speed, whatever is the ratio of speed, same will be the ratio of time. This is the concept we'll use if you solve it through simple equations. But trust me, the approach that Sohail has said, this is the same one I was going to show you, and this is the easiest approach. See, basically, this is maths, this is quantitative aptitude, and I want this for everybody of you guys to improve. I am here for this part, not this part. Is this part clear, guys? Anybody, any doubt? I'd ask me right now. Okay. All right. We'll move forward. Okay. So yeah. Moving forward, see, the clock hand and the hour hand can be considered same as two players A and B in a circle. That's one perspective of solving such a problem. But before that, a simple, straightforward general knowledge question, guys. How many minutes in an hour?
60.
60.
And how many seconds in an hour?
3600.
Okay. So 1 second covers how much degree?
6 degree.
60.
1 second.
Sorry, 1. Second. Yeah, 60.
0.1.
10.1.
Point.
It's 1 second. Oh, sorry.
10 degree.
No. 1 second for whom? You should have asked. Is it for the second hand? Is it for the minute hand? Or is it for the hour hand?
If it is second hand, then it is 6 degrees.
Yes.
For minute hand, it is 0.1 degrees.
Okay.
And if it is hour, then I guess it is 0.01.
No. You will have to calculate it. Okay, that is not required. I was just testing you guys. That is okay. But this is basically you will have to remember whatever the hand covers in itself, in its domain. In 1 minute, how much does the minute hand cover? And hour and how much does it cover in 1 hour? These three things will be important for you guys to remember. So again, 1 second, the second hand covers 6 degree. In 1 minute, how much does the minute hand cover? Six degree. Guys?
Yes.
And in 1 hour, how much will the hour hand cover?
Same 6 degree.
No, 30 degree.
30 degree.
Yes.
There are 12 divisions in the clock. In
Yeah.
1 hour, the hour hand covers 1 division. So 360 by 12 is 30 degrees, right?
Yes.
Everybody clear with this part? This was the basic, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing new. Okay, then. This would be our last question for the day. The 8th question. Read it. Have a go at it. I'll give you 3 minutes. And after that, we'll discuss. If it looks a tough problem, it isn't, guys. Just try using your relative velocity approach or the equations approach. It is up to you for now. I just want to have a look as to how much you guys are clear with the concept for now. 3 minutes, guys. And in the first sentence, the hands of a clock, that means the minute and the hour hand, guys. Seconds hand is not considered in such questions if it mentioned hands of the clock. Just for info. And you have, if you have a difficulty in understanding the question, ask me. There's one general knowledge fact that you guys might require in solving that question, and that is both hour and minute hands, they meet each other after,
65.
they always meet each other after this. It's like two players running A and B in the same direction. After how much time will they meet each other? Same concept, nothing new. This derivation has come from there. This might be helpful for you guys, because trust me, this is one of the toughest questions that can be asked on clocks. Easiest question you guys can easily solve using relative velocity. Once you understand relative velocity, this question is nothing. That's why I've put a tough question, so that you can understand how to solve the tough ones. Easy ones you will sail through. No need to worry about that. And remember this fact, guys. No, Sohail, I'm afraid that's not the answer. I know, guys, I have given you a tough question, but I still want to see our approaches. Again, I'm not expecting that I get a correct answer, but still I would appreciate somebody who approaches this question carefully. Like I said, the end result matters at the end. The process is very important. Ashwik, have you solved it correctly, or like Aditya has the favorite option C, you have a new favorite option A?
No. I did one calculation, but I don't know if it is logical or not. But I can tell you that.
Have you calculated it?
Yes.
Okay, it is right, by the way.
I don't know if it is the approach is correct or not, but I got an answer, and since it was written as approx, so
Yeah,
I
it is
chose an air
approx.
answer. So I
Yes,
chose
it
an
is.
air answer.
Okay. By the way, what is the answer you were getting? Can you type in, please?
Yep.
Exact answer what you were getting. Yes, that is kind of the answer. Yes. I think you have used the right approach then.
Okay.
Great, great. I didn't expect it, guys, but yeah, that's great. All right, guys, we'll stop for this part. Put your pens down. And I first want to hear what went through your mind after looking at this question as to how did you approach it question. And I required it from everybody, guys. Yeah, so Aswik has given me the answer. Sohail had given me, which is not the right answer, unfortunately. But yeah, Sohail, what approach did you use?
I just drawn a clock and I seen that it's like clock. How to say? I think I went on some calculations like one is 1 hour 20 minutes and one is 1 hour 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I have just taken it approx time like 320, and if after 1 hour 20 minutes, it will be coinciding another time.
Okay.
At 420, it will be coinciding again.
Okay, got it. Anshula, what approach did you use?
Casey, I don't get it.
Okay, all right, sure. No worries. This is a tough question. First of all, I did not expect anybody to give a right answer. I've got the right answer. I'm surprised by that part. So there's nothing to worry. Like Subhash was telling at the beginning, we are all here to learn and develop. So no need to worry about that. Manideep, what approach did you use?
Kesari, I think I have stuck up where I see that there is a 15 minutes lag between both the clocks, and after that I didn't get what to do.
Okay, all right, sure. Okay, Prerit?
I just like the distance covered by both, like both the clocks are same, so that kind of thing. And if it would be original clock, then the speed for the minute hand would be 2 minutes per second.
Okay. You have thought of an extra dimension. Sure, no worries. Priya, what did you think of your logic?
Okay, see, I was just going by the they should coincide with the watches to coincide at some they should be having a common digital level, like recording. Am I audible?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah. I listen.
Am
Got you.
I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So
Spandana, what
I was just
approach did
trying
you
to go
use?
through that approach.
Yeah, I got you.
I didn't proceed because I was stuck. I didn't get the question. So.
Okay, sure. Never mind. Sudeep, where did you get stuck or what approach did you use?
Yeah, Kesari, I got stuck when I tried starting the clock from 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Both, you see, both hours and minutes hand starts from the same point.
Yes.
Later on, if minutes hand covers one full rotation and come to 12 again, and more 20 minutes, that is if you can see 1 2 3 4 at fourth position the hours hand should be.
Yes.
Then that is the difference. Like it has become from 12 to 4. That means 4 hours gap.
Okay.
And they say collide for every 80 minutes. I didn't get that. I got stuck there.
Okay. Sure.
4 hours gap
I
and
understand.
80 minutes. I didn't get that.
All right. Okay, sure. Okay, coming to the one person who has got the right answer, Asvik, what approach did you use?
Yes, so first thing what the observation I had was, so the lag between the two clocks is 15 minutes.
Yes.
So I kept that 15 minutes aside, and uske baad I tried to calculate for 24 hours for 80 minutes clock, how many times are there colliding. So
Okay.
if I do that calculation, I got it as 18 times
Okay.
the minutes and the hands clock are colliding,
Perfect.
coinciding.
Okay.
So since there is a lag of 15 minutes,
Yes.
so obviously the time will be 15 minutes ahead every hour.
Okay.
So since 18 times it is calling, so 18 into 15, 270 is what I got the answer.
Okay.
So now since the question itself says what is the approx time, and even you told that for every 65 by 5 by 11 minutes they collide.
Yeah.
So maybe that 18 into 5 by 11 might get 2 more
Yeah.
minutes. So that's how I.
Your approach is kind of right. It's like since it gives an approx answer, that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the approach. See, the actual sum requires some calculation, guys. Whatever approach did you use last week, it is close to accurate. I would say it is not exactly accurate, but it does give the right answer. So I don't mind that. It's fine with that. See, guys, now, like I had said, mentioned here that this is what an ideal clock does. So does that mean these two clocks are defective clocks? Yes or no, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. That means this is clock C1, this is clock C2. I will refer it now. And this is our ideal clock C. So C1 gains roughly a bit less than 15 minutes every this many minutes, right?
I didn't get you, Casey. Can you please
Okay,
elaborate?
yeah. One thing. Basically, how many times does all the basically both the hands meet in 24 hours? 24 times?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever these both the hands meet once in actual C, C1 is gaining some time because it is showing 80 minutes,
Yeah.
and C2 is losing some time because it is showing 65 minutes, even though it should
Yes.
actually show the time that is given on C.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So C1 is gaining some time, C2 is losing some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we can do is calculate the time difference. C1 is gaining and C2 is losing every time. So what
15
C1
minutes.
is gaining is 80 minus 65 upon 5 by 11 every time,
Yes.
Yes.
and C2 is losing 65 upon 5 by 11 minus 65 every time.
Yes.
Okay. And this is basically what? Uh, this is per 80 minutes for C1, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And for C2, this happens every 65 minutes.
Yes.
Is this part clear, guys? Because this is the actual time of C2 and this is the actual time of C1. So in every 80 minutes of C1, this is the actual time it is gaining, and C2, this is the actual time. That's why this is the actual difference, what it is there. That is what it is losing in 65 minutes. Is this part clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So if in 80 minutes it is gaining this time and in 65 minutes it is losing this much time, can I calculate it for total duration, that is 24 hours into 60 minutes in one day? Can I calculate it for these many minutes?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, basically for the first part I have to divide it by 80 and multiply it by this, and second part I have to divide it by 65 and multiply it by the upper numerator. I will get two things. If I add those both things, I will get close to 271. And your approach, Asvik, is what I liked, because it kind of did not involve a lot of calculations, and it gave relatively a similar answer. Basically what you did is quite similar, it's just that your approach was different. But it was, I would say, the approaches were parallel lines, if I had to say. Yeah, so that's why I like your approach. That is great part. But if I have to go through the correct approach, this is it, because this will give me an accurate answer. That is 271 point something is the answer, and you will get 270. So guys, did you understand the approach? The answer is not important, the approach is, guys. Anybody, any doubts? Speak up right now.
So the approach which I use, would it work for same kind of problems, or was I lucky in this case?
It should work, because I did not find a fault. See, whatever conditions the question gave, your approach satisfied those conditions with some approximations. The approximations were, you directly took the difference of 80 and 65, right?
Correct.
You skipped this part. So in a way, you skipped per 80 minutes, per 65 minutes, you directly went for 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Which is eventually what I am doing.
Okay.
So in a way, you did not skip the basics. Yeah, you skipped the middle steps, and that's why you got an answer which is almost accurate. So I would say it is, yeah, it is fairly correct. It will give you an accurate answer, not the exact answer always. But yeah, your approach is mota correct, I would say.
Okay.
Anybody, any doubt, guys?
I have a doubt, basically.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like we calculated for C1 is gaining and C2 is losing.
Yes.
So after that, we multiplied. We have to multiply that total gain, because C1 is C1 plus C2 is coming to be positive.
Yes.
So that we have to multiply by 24 into 60.
No. See. Okay, I'll explain it once again. C1 is gaining this, ye jo, whatever I have written here, per 80 minutes.
Per 80 minutes, correct.
So how much will it gain in 24 hours?
Okay.
That is suppose X. All right.
Yes.
C2, how much it is losing in 65 minutes? So how much will it lose in 24 hours? That is suppose Y.
Yes.
Now I will add X and Y, because one is gaining and one is losing.
Okay.
Now did you understand?
Yes.
Now X plus Y will come out to be 271 point something, that is 272, which is the right answer.
Okay. Thank you.
You don't need to worry about the calculation part. You have the calculator, so just use it. Don't waste time there. All right, guys, anybody, any doubt? Please revise the concept that I had discussed initially yesterday, guys. It is very important, and trust me, the session we'll have tomorrow, that is time and work. Same concept will be used, guys. Same concept. I mean, that chapter is comparatively much easier than this chapter. That is, I find it personally much easier, because there, if you use a logic, a 4-minute sum can be easily solved in 10 to 15 seconds. So yeah, in that regards, you will have to revise it. Go through yesterday's lecture notes completely with every method. If you have any doubt, post it on WhatsApp. I will clear your doubt. No worries in that regards.
Casey, my answer is not coming 272 minutes.
What is it coming?
कुछ और ही आ रहा है.
Calculation error किया होगा. Answer is 271.89.
Is it we need to multiply that by 24 into 60?
Of course.
The final answer by adding.
No. See, I explained it right now. Okay, I will explain it again. See, C1 is gaining 80 minus 65, 5/11 per 80 minutes.
Yes.
So how much will it earn in 24 into 60 minutes?
You mean unitary method we have to?
Yes, we have to use unitary method.
Okay. Okay.
That is your X part. Now, C2 is losing 65, 5 by 11 minus 65 per 65 minutes.
Yes.
So how much it will lose into 24 into 60 minutes? That is your Y part.
Okay.
Now you have to add both this because
Okay.
one is gaining and one is losing. Got it clear now?
Yes.
Yeah, great. It's great, guys, that you get your doubts cleared. I'm happy to explain it twice, thrice. You don't have to worry that I will get angry on you or in any regards feel that you are not learning. See, I appreciate if you ask me doubts. Trust me, that's the best thing. If you're not understanding it and going home and then trying to do it on your own, that is not the good part, I would say. So ask me doubts, get it cleared here itself. No need to worry about that. Trust me, guys, that would be much better for you, for me, both of them. Okay, so any further doubts anybody has? Okay, so I see no doubt, then we'll stop the session here. Actually, this was the part we had to just complete yesterday, but never mind. Well properly understood chapter, even though it takes much more time, so it's much more important and better for me. So yeah, guys, with this part we'll end today's session, and